What's going on, guys? Chandler's Legacy Farm here. Today I'm going to be talking about my broken Leatherman. Got the parts in for my broken Leatherman. So last week I posted a video about my broken Leatherman. I had made the order and literally I think it was 3 days I got my part. If you remember in the first video, I broke my Leatherman. I broke the little screwdriver slash pry bar bit. So that is what broke. And instead of sending it back to Leatherman or doing anything like that, I just wanted to fix it myself. Okay. So I went on eBay. Okay. eBay, Sharpie's quality tool and blade. So that is where I purchased it from. There you go. You guys can see that. Maybe. So I ordered it. The new one came in a little baggie, and it came down in this, little package from the mail, and it was exactly what I needed. It was very easy to go on to eBay and find what I needed. I just put in Leatherman, Leatherman Wave Plus parts, and it brought up all these different parts that you can buy. Whenever you break stuff on your Leatherman, you can buy parts, and so that is this. This came from Raleigh, North Carolina. It was at my home here in southern Missouri. It was here in, like I said, 3, maybe 4 days. Can't remember exactly. And it was $22.27. Now that may sound a little expensive for a little bitty, a little bitty part for your Leatherman, but I I just I wanted to fix it myself. I just wanted to fix it myself. I didn't want to send it into Leatherman. I did not want to have to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? So I just went online, spent the $22.27, and ordered my part, and it came in. The only problem that I had was there was a little washer in here. If you remember in the first video, there's a little washer in here. Well, whenever I went to put this back together after I initially took this one out, the broken one out, when I went to put the pin back through, a random washer just fell out. And I was like, oh shit, where does that go? So a friend of mine at work, he has got a Wave Plus. I shot him a message. I said, hey, when you come into work tonight, make sure you bring your Wave Plus. I want to look at it. I didn't take his apart, wasn't about to do that. But I did kind of try to shine a flashlight in there and see if I could at least find where that little washer was located. Really couldn't see it. Because the washer is so thin. But I do believe now whenever I pull my scissors out, this little eyeglass bit wants to come with it. Okay. What I did, I put the washer between the eyeglass bit and the flat bit. That's where I put the washer. So when I pull just that out, that is the only thing that comes out because it has the washer between it. On his, whenever you pull just the scissors out, just the scissors come out. And if you try to pull one of the other two tools out, they'll both kind of slide together. So what I'm thinking is I put the washer on the wrong side of the eyeglass bit. The scissors and the eyeglass bit the washer should have been between the scissors and the eyeglass bit. That is where that should have been. And I actually put it on this side of my eyeglass bit between the flat bit and the eyeglass bit. So the washer, I'm almost sure, is in the wrong place, but I'm not worried about it. It's no big deal. I can still whip out all the tools. I mean, just because one wants to follow the other one, it doesn't really matter to me much. I can still just push that down, pull that out, and I got my scissors. Everything fit great. Everything went right back together because this was off of another multi-tool, and there's my brand new little flat bit off another multi-tool from eBay. Works perfect. Literally, it was stupid simple just to fix it myself. While I was without I didn't even carry this because I didn't want I don't know. It wasn't a complete tool anymore, so I didn't carry it. So I ended up carrying my Gerber. Yeah, my Gerber. I should have brought it out here. The Gerber Suspension NXT. I carried it for 1 day instead of my Wave Plus while this was broken. And then I remembered exactly why I hated that Gerber suspension, because whenever it is closed up, it's like that damn wide. It's not a slim package to be, riding in your pocket like this is. It's like that damn wide. So I carried it 1 day. Yeah, that didn't work. So I ended up carrying my Wingman, my Leatherman Wingman. I carried it until I got the parts in for my Wave Plus. So everything on this thing works perfect, just like it always has now. I mean, it's fine. I might have got the washer in the wrong place, but I use this Leatherman all the time. This is just about my favorite one. So that is awesome to have my tool back. Like I said, 2 or 3 day wait time on the shipping, I think, and I got it for $22. Someone may not want to spend that $22, but I don't know I don't even know how to send anything back to Leatherman. I've never had to deal with that, and I'm like, I'm just not going to do it. I'm just going to fix the damn thing myself. I had the tools to get it apart, so that's what I done. I just took the damn thing apart, ordered my part off eBay, and here we are. So it was that simple, really, guys. That simple. But I want to keep these spare parts in a bag. I don't know why, but anyway. Okay, now to the second part of this video. Let's get into the second part of the video. Whenever I made this video, the first video on my broken Leatherman, I was telling you guys about me having the Airbnb, and I was down there working on some things that some drunk people had broken, okay? I got all that shit fixed. Everything's fixed at the Airbnb. Everything's great. We're back in business again now. So I did have to go in and black it out for a week or so that way I could get everything fixed, right? So I couldn't have anyone coming down there and seeing it with the fence knocked down, a hole in the bathroom door, and the bottom of the storm door kicked out. I couldn't let anyone in there to see all that shit, right? So I had to black it out, and by blacking it out, it means that it's unavailable to rent, okay? So whenever you go to, it is Clearwater Getaway LLC. When you go to that, or it's on Airbnb, but if you was to go to that, it would show that it's not available, right? Or that I made show that it's rented. But either way, I got everything fixed. We're back in business. I did get a comment on that first video when I was talking about fixing all that shit and breaking my Leatherman and going through a run of bad luck, okay? If you haven't saw that video from last week, maybe go back and watch that video also. Steve Slesh Fishing Living. He shot me a message. He commented on that first video. What he commented, and he said, you need to vlog Airbnb ownership. Love to hear your take. So, Steve, this is for you, and this is for anyone else who's ever been interested in owning an Airbnb. I will tell you this. I know shit about it. I'm sorry. My wife, we purchased our lake house property, and in order to offset some of the cost of paying for the property, paying for the house, we Airbnb it whenever we're not there, okay? We go down every holiday weekend, Memorial Day weekend, the 4th of July, Labor Day weekend, which was just passed. We were down there. We go down there for all three of the big holidays, and I usually end up making it down there for Father's Day also. But we go down there all the time. If it is not rented on the weekend in the summer, spring, fall, we're usually down there, okay, if it is not rented. But we done this, like I said, just to make a little extra money, just to make the payments a little easier to make, right? It's not like we couldn't afford it, when we bought it. We just wanted to try to make some external revenue come in just to help us out, right? So in the wintertime, needless to say, sometimes, most of the time in deer season, the week of deer season, it will rent for that week. And then, so that's November. And then Sometimes around Christmas, sometimes around Christmas it may rent, but then you got January and February. January, February, it does not rent. So all the bills that I have to pay for that place, I comes out of my pocket, right? And then most of March, normally doesn't rent very much in March, but come April, spring crappie fishing time down at Clearwater Lake, more people will start renting, right? And then when the kids get out of school, that's whenever it starts booming, right? And then the kids usually go back to school right before Labor Day, and that's when my slow period starts. So right now we're in that slow period of starting. Uh, so, but as far as we've been doing this now, we have owned our lake house property. We have owned it for 5 years, 5 years, and in that 5 years time, we there was one time 2-3 years into this that there was some cell phone. We leave some of our shit down there in a closet. It's not locked. The closet's not locked, so maybe it's our fault. But we leave a lot of shit there. Some of our stuff that we think people, other people might use and might need, and then just some of our stuff. We got a little box that we keep shoved in the back of that closet. It just has items in it that we use, but if someone else uses, who cares, right? So our Airbnb basically stays stocked, you know, uh, with everything you're going to need except for food. You bring your own food. We've got utensils. We have got, a cook stove. We have a apartment style washer and dryer. You can do your own laundry. We supply Pantene. My wife, supplies Pantene Pro V, whatever the hell it is, shampoo and body wash and stuff, if you forget yours. So, fully stocked. We've got paper towels, toilet paper. You've got everything you're going to need, except for food. We've got, we do our own laundry. We do the bed linens and all that stuff. Recently, we have hired someone to come and clean because I live about an hour and 10 minutes away from my lake house property. So we've hired someone to come and clean. We don't and that's another thing about Airbnb I've noticed, and I think that's what's going to kill Airbnb is people tries to tack on different fees. This little fee for that, fee. Just make it a solid price. I think by the time you're done paying Airbnb, I think now, don't quote me for sure, but because my wife handles almost all this, but I'm pretty sure it's $135 a night is what we charge. Okay. And so that's what it is. So we don't charge no extra fees, no extra bullshit. So, and a lot of other people tries to tack on this and this and that. And if we don't have time to go down there, we just pay our cleaning lady to go down there and clean out of the money that we made. You know what I'm saying? Off of that weekend. You know what I'm getting at. So, and she charges, I think it's like $70, $60. I don't know. Like I said, my wife handles all this. It's around $75 maybe for her to go down and clean. She sweeps the porches off. She cleans the house, does the laundry. Everything's done. And my Airbnb, whenever you check out, we've got a list of rules of things that we would like for you to do. Make sure you put the trash in the trash, in the big trash can out on the front porch. Wash your own dishes and put them away. Just things like that. Nothing major. We will come in and we will mop the floors if needed. We will sweep the floors. We will vacuum the floors. We will wipe everything down. And we do the laundry, okay? We wipe down the shower, we clean the toilets, we clean the sinks. So like I said, sometimes we do our own cleaning if we're going to be down there, but if we know we're not going to get down there, we'll call up this lady that's been helping us out. She'll go clean. It works out great. Sure, it cuts into a little bit of the money that I made off of that previous weekend, but at least I didn't have to try to find time in my busy schedule to get down there to do it whenever I know I have someone that I can trust to go down there and do it. And in order for someone to check in, we've got cameras down there because we're not down there all the time. We have blink cameras. We have one on the back porch, two on the front porch, one aiming toward one way of the, one aiming this way and one aiming that way in the front yard. And then the one that's on the back of the house, it pretty much covers the entire backyard. So whenever they check in, we leave the cameras on, and as soon as we see that they have put the key in the door and they've got the door open, because we've got a lockbox, one of those small lock boxes on the bolted to the front door, or screwed to the front door, and we give them a code, and whenever they get the key out of the lockbox and then get the key in the door, that's when we shut the cameras off. Cameras get shut off. They have their own total privacy to do what they want to do. And we don't have any cameras, on the inside, of course. But cameras on the back porch and front porch get shut off as soon as I see, or Christy sees, my wife, that they made it in the house. Because, once they're in, they should be fine. You know what I'm saying? We just want to make sure that nothing is, that, they don't need any help doing anything. So, and Christy is always it. My wife, she's always in contact, she's just a text message away. She gives them the Wi-Fi password and all that good stuff. It's really been fun. It's really not bad. As far as bad guests go, what I was getting at in the beginning here, there was one time we had some cell phone chargers come up missing. We messaged the person. The person said, well, we don't know where they went either, but you're saying they were there. Now they're not there. It was just a couple cell phone chargers. So that lady ended up mailing us a couple of cell phone chargers. No big deal. Another time, and that was our own fault for leaving our chargers down there, but they were in that box in the back of the closet. They really didn't think nothing of it. Either way, they had come up missing. And there was a lot of people at the house that weekend. The lady said, she couldn't pinpoint where they could have went. A lot of teenagers around. So anyway, she just sent me a couple new cell phone chargers, no big deal. I really didn't care if she sent me the cell phone charger or not. I just wanted to let her know that something had came up missing from the Airbnb. Really didn't care. It was just cell phone chargers. And then there was another time, there was a guy getting up off the toilet, and he put his hand on the sink, because my toilet's here, sink's over here. Somehow or another, he put his hand on the sink to stand up off of the toilet. And when he did, it actually cracked the top on my sink. And he went to the local hardware store, Turnbow's, there in Piedmont. He went to Piedmont, and it was literally 3 miles down the road. And he was able to buy a brand new sink top. It was probably a couple, $300. And he bought the sink top for me to put in. And I didn't ask him to do that or anything. He just called. He called Christy. He said, hey, the sink top is cracked in the bathroom, and I went down and bought you a new one. I'll leave it set. He said, I can put it in for you. We're like, no, we'll get it put in. So anyway, we have a new sink top ready to be put in, just haven't put it in yet because the crack that was in it was barely a hairline crack. And we actually ended up getting some sort of glue shit. I don't remember what it is. Anyway, we've kind of fixed the crack like that for now. But we do have a brand new sink top in the shed ready to go in if we need it, right? And that guy didn't have to do that. We told him he didn't have to do that. Things happen. But he felt obligated. He was a good person, right? So anyway, there was that time. And then another time we had a guy fall out of the bathtub. I don't know if he'd been drinking a little bit. I have no idea. But he fell out of the bathtub and broke the spigot that comes out for the bathtub to fill the tub. He broke the spigot off, and whenever he broke the spigot off, he fell out of the tub. This is horrible, guys. You gotta hear this. He falls out of the tub, and then he falls across the toilet, hits his ribs on the toilet, rips the toilet out of the damn floor, and hits his head on the sink. I don't know how the person didn't die. I mean, it was so bad. So anyway, that was about $300 to have a plumber come out, reseat the toilet, fix the shower head and all that. Luckily, there's an access panel behind my shower that the plumber was able to take off to get access everything to get in to fix all of it. And took plumber a couple hours to get it fixed. Ended up having to call him out on a Sunday, and because I had to work the next week. couldn't be there on a weekday. Luckily, I had a plumber come out on Sunday. Either way, it was $300. The person, they paid the bill, no big deal. This little escapade that I'm talking about now, with the two broken doors and the fence, well, we got everything fixed, and it ended up costing about $500. So my wife messaged this person and told them what the damages were, and we filed a claim somehow or another. She does all this, so I don't know about it. She filed a claim through Airbnb. Airbnb, once you file a claim, the person has so many hours or like 24 hours or some shit to pay the bill, right? I don't know even what happens after that 24 hours. I have no idea. My wife handles this stuff. So, luckily, we were like 4 hours away from being 24 hours. We're thinking, man, this guy might not pay, you know? So Christy shoots the guy another message and says, hey, I want to remind you that Airbnb is going to be wanting their money in the next 4 hours. And he said, yes. He said, and he sent it. So they sent me the $500. We're all good there, all paid back up. So the four instances that I have had in the 5 years of running this Airbnb, all four instances ended up, good, is what I'm saying. They were good people. They were honest. They told us that shit was broken. They didn't try to hide anything. They come forward and said, hey, this happened. And so, guys, even if they are drunk and tear your shit up, as long as they're honest and will, honest about things and will let you know what's going on, that's a plus right there in my book. So out of 5 years of running Airbnb, we've had four little mishaps, is what I'm saying. And out of those four mishaps, everything ended up okay. So we will continue to keep running our Airbnb, and it works. It does. But to tell you much more about Airbnb ownership, I don't know a whole lot else about it. Like I said, my wife, she handles all that. So anyway, hopefully that was a little interesting just to talk about that and the Airbnb ownership. Would I do it again? Yes, I would. And if I bought another piece of property down there by Clearwater Lake, and if it was something I thought that would interest people to rent, I would do another Airbnb. I really would. But right now at this time, we're just trying to kind of lay low. Really, we're trying not to throw any more money around than what we have to. You know what I'm saying? Everybody feels the crunch of the economy right now. But anyway, that's it. Steve Slesh, I hope that kind of answered some of your questions about Airbnb ownership. So that's what we got. We're out of here. We'll have a ton more nice knife stuff coming. But we're out of here. Chandler's Legacy Farm. If you like what I'm doing, like, share, subscribe as usual. We will see ya.